Hey everybody, looks like it's time for science again. I'm here with Mr. Reinish, and we are going to show you how to do the lab for tomorrow. Today we're thinking about what is a gas. And to study that, our learning target is I can measure gas produced from a chemical reaction. At the end of this video, you should be able to answer the following check questions. Number 1, what tool will measure how much gas is produced? Number 2, what substance will be dissolved in water? And number 3, what substance will you add to the glass bottle? Here you can see Mr. Reinish. He's going to demonstrate the steps to this lab. The first thing you'll do is get a white tub of materials that'll be at your lab station with everything you're going to need for this lab. And make sure you put on your protective eyewear. I'm wearing them too. And Mr. Reinish is wearing them. And the first thing you're going to do is make a stock citric acid solution. So Mr. Reinish, could you hold that label of citric acid towards the camera? This is citric acid. There's another substance in your lab tray that's sodium bicarbonate. But what we want to do first is make a solution of citric acid. So the first thing you do is get a scoop, one scoop, there's a white spoon in your lab tray, and you get one level scoop of citric acid and put it in a plastic cup. And he's just added it to the cup. I don't know if you can see that on the video. There it is. Okay. He's putting the cap back on the jar. The next thing is to get a graduated cylinder and fill it up with 100 milliliters of water. And then add that to the plastic cup with citric acid in it. Pour it in gently and slowly. Finally, get the popsicle stick, stirring stick, out of your lab tray and mix it up. Okay, next, you're going to take your jar of sodium bicarbonate. Mr. Reinish is pointing the label that says sodium bicarbonate, and you're going to get one level spoon of sodium bicarbonate. Use a different spoon. Don't use the same spoon you used for the citric acid because we don't want to cross-contaminate the chemicals. Get one level 2 milliliter spoonful of the sodium bicarbonate, and then Mr. Reinish, if you can hold that glass bottle, there's a glass bottle, it's really quite small, made of glass, and put that 2 milliliter spoon of sodium bicarbonate into the glass bottle. Try not to spill. Alright, so Mr. Reinish has added his sodium bicarbonate to the glass bottle. He is now putting the cap back on the sodium bicarbonate bottle. Here comes the fun part. Take one plastic syringe. Mr. Reinish has a syringe. And we want to get 5 milliliters of the citric acid liquid. Exactly 5 milliliters. So he's taking the syringe, putting the tip into the liquid, and pulling the plunger, very carefully measuring 5 milliliters of citric acid solution. Okay, so now watch carefully. Mr. Reinish is taking his rubber stopper of science with a hole in the top. There's a hole in it, and he's placing it gently but firmly into the glass bottle. Then he's going to take his syringe with the 5 milliliters of citric acid solution in it and place it into the hole of the stopper. Once it's placed into the bottle, once the tip of the syringe is into the stopper, he's going to hold on to the glass bottle with one hand, and then with one finger, he's going to push down the plunger and then release his finger right away. Alright, so the chemical reaction took place. He's now going to measure how much gas was produced. In that syringe, he's looking at the graduates, and he's measuring how much gas was produced. And he's going to enter that number of milliliters of gas produced into the trial 1 part of the data table at the bottom of page 30. Mr. Reinish will then take out the syringe carefully. He'll take out the stopper carefully, he's going to dump out the contents of his bottle and rinse it out in a sink. And then he's going to complete the experiment 2 more times. The same experiment with new sodium bicarbonate, the same amount, and new citric acid, the same 5 milliliters, and record 3 trials. 3 trials. And at the end of recording 3 trials, you're going to record the average of gas produced in the 3 experiments you've done. At the end of the class, please clean up everything, rinse out your bottles, put your lab station back the way you found it. Try to dry out your bottles with a paper towel and wash off your spoons a little bit. We want things nice and dry for the next lab station, the next lab group who's going to do this lab. You can return to your seat then, and if you look carefully onto page 31 in your notebook, there is a page called How Much Gas Be? So at your desk you should answer these 4 questions. You can work with your lab groups as you see fit until everyone's finished. So at this point we're back to our check questions. So question number 1, what tool will measure how much gas is produced? Number 2, what substance will be dissolved in water? And number 3, what